Hello and welcome to From the Couch Films Indie Film Review. I'm your host for today, and always, Pete. So today, we're going to be talking about a film that comes straight out of Chicago. And I'm from Chicago, so this is near and dear to my heart. I'm trying to have all of the films, or at least most of the films that come onto this show, be from Chicago. And being that it's a Halloween season, I reviewed a film that was horror genre. The Underpass is about 10 minutes long, and it's a short film directed and written by David Schmidt. Its story is of Fia, the main character, a neighborhood blogger who stumbles across a mysterious shrine. You know, those pictures and stuff that you see on the underpasses or on the side of the road where somebody got hit or a motorcycler got into an accident and they passed on. So she stumbles onto one of these, and it's mysterious. Nobody knows what it is, and she thinks that she recognizes one of the pictures that's there because it's multiple people. So my initial thoughts about this film. The cinematography of this film is pretty gorgeous. I'll show you some images here. As you can see, David does a wonderful job of setting up the mood for the rest of the film in the very beginning. He uses these dirty, grimy images to set the pace for the film, and these are actually images of underneath the underpass, the bottom side, and some of the areas surrounding the underpass. The sound effects are done very well, and it fit the overall theme for this picture. So, one of the things that I critique is, was this story original? Now, I know you're not always going to be able to get original because almost everything's been done. Simpsons did it. The story was fairly unique. Without telling you too much about it, I'm going to link the video at the end, but without telling you too much about this film, it was a unique setting. I've never seen a film done in an underpass before. And the horror feel was kind of mysterious for most of the film. And then the end, I don't want to spoil. I'll just say I didn't like the end. So the next thing that I'll talk about is the characters. Now, there weren't really that many characters in this film. There was Fia, the main character, and to be honest, the only reason I know her name is from the description underneath the video. And then there was Fia's friend that she talked to at the only scene in the movie that really had dialogue. And then there were a whole bunch of people that were extras throughout. Acting. The acting was overall well done. The actor who played Fia, I believe her name is Kristen Williams. The actor who played Fia did a really good job of portraying emotion, though she really didn't speak during the movie very much. Other than that one scene, she didn't talk at all. So she did a pretty good job portraying the emotion and trying to set the mood just through her facial expressions and how she moved and her overall non-verbal communication skills. One of the things that I touch on is, were the characters well developed? Were they one-dimensional, multi-dimensional? Did they delve deep into the character's background? I know the film was only 10 minutes, and it's going to be hard to dive into a character in 10 minutes and still tell the story and still have the setup and the mood setting. That being said, it is still possible. The character and the rest of the characters that kind of weren't there, they were just supporting, was very one-dimensional. There really was no depth to the character. I didn't come out of the film feeling like I knew who the character was. But again, that being said, it's very difficult to get into depth in a 10-minute short film. So my suggestion to David is, if you're going to be doing short films, Try to add on a little bit more time just to get into the depth and dimension of those characters. Give them a little bit more feel so I feel like I'm connected to that character. Now, the actor herself, Kristen Williams, I believe that's her name because they didn't say who the main character was, who the actress was for the main character. I believe it was Kristen Williams, but she did, I think, a really good job. Mind you, it's not going to be award winning, but she did a really good job for the film. She portrayed those emotions, like I said, through her nonverbal communication, and I think she did very well for what she was working with. Okay, so now I'm going to get into the technical aspect of the film. The technical aspect. Camera movement is one of the biggest things to make a film feel cinematic, feel like it belongs in the movies. This film really didn't have any camera movement. The only movement was falsified movement, jump cuts. So we're going to show you this angle, and then we're going to show you this angle to try to give you that feel that the camera moved around. Now, this works, and again, understand, this is a low-budget to no-budget film, so you're not going to have the budget to possibly have all of the equipment that the Hollywood people are going to have. I understand this. I've been there. Now, going right along with that, I wish you could have, because some dolly movements would have been great. Some sliders would have given the feel that I was hoping to feel. And the next thing I talk about is lighting. The lighting was done really well. Talking about the lighting, every scene that was set with a mood lighting that made me feel either eerie or creepy, or there was one scene where the main character was sitting at her computer trying to gather some information. It was a little bit more relaxed of a setting, and he had the tones to try to make it feel more relaxed with the lighting. And I think overall the lighting was really well done in this film. Sound. Overall, the sound was done really well as well. Yeah. But the Foley at times was a little overpowering. It was a little too loud for what he was trying to do, I think. At times the footsteps were really distracting. And there was one scene in the very beginning where the main character was riding her bicycle. She got off and started walking her bicycle. The bicycle chain noise was really loud. That was the one that stuck out to me the most. And we finally talk about the music. The music was done excellently. I don't know who did the scores on this. Score, for you, those of you who don't know, is the music itself for the film. The score was done really well. All of the music fit the theme. All of the music fit the emotion that he was trying to portray. There were times where he had that gritty undertone in the background that made you feel creeped out. There were some Foley that went right along with the music that gave you that creepy feeling, which was the feel of the entire film, as far as I know, that he was trying to portray. So when I'm going to be doing these reviews, I'm going to talk about the one thing that stood out to me the most in the entire film that I really want to talk about, I really want to mention, I really want to give a good comment, whether the film was good or bad. In this particular one, it was the cinematography. I thought the cinematography was excellent. Though he didn't have the budget to have a camera slider or the dollies or the camera jib to give all the different camera movements, with what he had, he did really well. The movement that was portrayed through jump cuts gave a really gritty feel to the film, which is what he was going for, I believe. I can't quote him because I didn't interview him, but the overall feel was really well done. And though some of the shots were pretty creepy and that vibey, I don't like what I'm seeing, it was still, in a cinematography sense, very beautiful. So this is the part of the show where I finish up, I wrap up, and I give the overall score that I feel this movie deserves. Now, that being said, I'm not an expert. I'm an indie filmmaker, just like all of the people who might be watching this show. All the people who have submitted to me, they're all indie filmmakers. I'm an indie filmmaker too. I'm not an expert. I'm not Siskel. I'm not Ebert. I also want to get the names out there of all these cinematographers, all these filmmakers, all these directors, all these actors, because Chicago has an amazing film community. Whether anyone knows about it yet or not, it's there. And Hollywood knows it because Hollywood comes here for Batman and things along those lines. So we need to get the independent cinematographers, independent directors, independent actors out there and get their names known. Get all of us out there. Give us some well-deserved gratitude. Now, David, I want to say thank you for letting me watch your film and letting me review your film. I thought it was really well done. So I'm going to give your film a 7 out of 10. I say this because there was a lot of really well done visuals throughout the entire piece. I was pretty pleased with the overall theme of this film and the overall grittiness to it, but there were a couple things that I think could have been done better. For example, building that character depth for your characters and giving the actor the opportunity to really shine and show those characters off. Like I said before, I do understand that this was an independent film, but I think some more camera movement, some sliders, some dolly shots, maybe a jib shot, could have really enhanced this film and made it so much better. And the one thing that I'm going to add, spoiler alert, if you don't want to know, don't listen. I didn't like the very end with the jump scare. I don't like jump scares personally. That's just me. I think jump scares are cheesy. I think that the fear and danger should be induced through the unknown. So I hate to bring up Paranormal Activity because I really hate those movies, but the original Paranormal Activity, not being able to see what was there is really what made people so afraid. And I think that in a horror genre film, that's really what does it. The jump scares are not really terrifying people, they're just making people startled. So that's my personal opinion. Thank you for watching. Our next show is a brand new show as well. It's called Movie News. I'm gonna have a friend of mine on, and me and him are gonna sit down. It's gonna be like a podcast style show, and we're gonna throw the news out there. That's gonna come out on October 21st, as long as my second baby isn't born before then or right around then. So stay tuned for that, and come check out the show and let me know what you think. If you have an independent film that you want to be viewed by me and reviewed by me, put it right in the comments below with a link, or email it to fromthecouchfilms@gmail.com. Check us out at ftcfilms.weebly.com. That's our website. From there, you can access our Twitter, our Facebook, our Google Plus, email. I hope you enjoyed the show for today. Right here, I'm going to link The Underpass, the movie that I just reviewed, and then I'm going to put in one of my short films so you can take a look at some of my work.